Howdy, howdy. Welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here, we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. So, welcome your input and hope you send us some text messages as we look forward to all our episodes that are scheduled. I felt the need to try to sneak this episode in this week. So today, we will have episodes 5 and 6 available for download. In today's 6th episode, we will look at a topic that's not really getting much play on the baseball front. Sources of how sports teams and leagues make their money has not changed much over the past 40 years. Tickets, sponsorships, broadcast rights continue to be the main bucket of revenue, while concessions, parking, merchandise, non-team events, they fill out the income statement. But the current state of affairs of the RSNs are changing. Okay, let's get into it. What is an RSN? A regional sports network in the United States and Canada is a television channel that presents sports programming to a local media market or geographical region. Some RSNs originated as premium channels. Since the 1990s, they have commonly been distributed through the expanded basic tiers of cable television and IPTV services. Direct broadcast satellite providers may require customers to purchase a higher programming tier kind of package for sports coverage. And that's for local and out-of-market regional sports networks. The first regional sports network launched 54 years ago was in New York, with a 125-game deal for the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. It would take more than a decade for more RSNs to emerge as the cable industry grew incredibly slow. By the 1990s, RSNs exploded onto the sports scene, with both businesses reaching their top peak in 2010 when more than 100 million households had cable connection. It's all been downhill since then, with the number of cable households, down more than 30% from that peak period. Now, the question is not what the next 54 years hold in store for RSN, but whether they will either be a RSN business as we have known it. The decline is startling. Take court documents filed earlier this month by Diamond Sports Group, the parent company of Bally Sports Regional Network, which details how rapidly the business has slumped. In the past, RSNs could pay huge rights fees because they received fees from every cable subscriber, sports fan or not. Those days are over, and the pricey streams and ad sales on free TV are not going to fill the gap. It's only a matter of time before it reaches the player's income, and perhaps that's why no one is talking about this. If regional TV money dwindles, so does the team's operating cost, which directly relates to salaries. In some markets, they will hold on, especially if a team owns one, such as Yes Network in New York, or Nesson in Boston, Marquee in Chicago, or Masson in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. These channels will survive as long as there is a cable bundle because rights fees are largely not an issue as the team and cable channel are all one and the same. Many of these channels already offer their own paid streaming service. But if the number of cable homes drops below 50 million in the coming years, it's doubtful these outlets can survive. And we're talking big dollars. How much do teams make on regional sports network and national TV deals? Seriously, a lot. Current national deals, Major League Baseball is currently in a deal with ESPN that lasts through the 2028 season at $540 million per year. 30 teams, Their share is $18 million per team out of that one deal alone. The Fox current deal is for $2.5 billion. 30 teams? Your divvy is $83 million per team. Apple TV current deal lasts through the 2029 season at $595 million total, or $83 million per year. 30 teams? $19.8 million per team. That's approximately $120 million on TV deals, not including regional deals per team. Regional deals can account for a low of $50 million and a high of $150 million per team. Now, today, this is right where I feel. Why can't I watch my home team? Diamond Sports, a subsidiary of Sinclair, bought all the Bally Sports Network's regional network 5 years ago for close to $11 billion, but saw their value decrease quickly with subscription losses. They since have entered bankruptcy in March of 2023, causing all the fun this year. Bally Sports channels carried by distributor Comcast went dark at the start of May after Comcast and Bally's bankrupt operated Diamond Sports Group failed to reach an agreement on a new contract, leaving Major League Baseball fans throughout the country without the ability to watch their local teams. The following Major League Baseball teams have no local coverage, and it's all due to Bally Sports being dropped from Comcast. Personally, I'm so frustrated with not watching the Braves games this year, and the fans always lose. The Braves are not the only team in this position. Major League Baseball teams no longer available to Comcast customers are the Detroit Tigers, the Miami Marlins, the Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Tampa Bay Rays, Texas Rangers, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Angels, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Cable companies have been losing customers for years, and the days of unlimited profits is gone. What's going to happen to these 11 teams? Obviously, the Tampa Bay Rays can't handle the loss of profit. The Atlanta Braves, maybe they can. Customers can watch Bally Sports both through DirecTV and Fubo TV, and with both streaming services offering multiple options that carry Bally Sports networks as a standard coverage in local areas. What do you think? Have you heard anything about this? What is the future of RSN? And what is the fallout of Bally Sports? Now, the Yankees have the most successful and the most watched RSN in the U.S. So, why would they want to share their profits? As Yankees, Randy Levine, principal founder of the Yes Network, has said recently, why are regional sports networks important? And why are they more important to baseball than they are in any other sport? Baseball plays every day. As a result, people become accustomed to watching their team play every day. And the RSN becomes, in effect, an affiliate or an appendage of the team. Fans think of Yes, and they think of the Yankees, as they should. He's 100% correct. During the Major League Baseball regular season, baseball is the most viewed local programming. Major League Baseball games on the RSNs consistently outperform the top cable primetime programs in their markets, broadcast networks, and NBA and NHL teams in shared markets. That remained true in 2022 and 2023. 22 of the 29 U.S.-based Major League Baseball teams were the top-rated network in their market during primetime regular season games when comparing the RSNs to all other cable networks. Now, don't forget, the money we are talking about is staggering. The New York Yankees, who generated a league-leading $171 million from suites and premium seating, are once again the most valuable team in baseball. They are worth $7.55 billion. Bronx Bombers also have the league's richest jersey patch deal. $25 million a season with insurer Star through 2031, and have been Major League Baseball's most valuable team each year since Forbes began publishing valuations in 1998. Now, two teams that have scored big with new ballpark are the world champion Texas Rangers and the Atlanta Braves, who captured the championship in 2021. Since moving into their ballpark in 2021, the Rangers have increased their value by 27% to $2.4 billion. The Braves have gone up in value 72% to $2.8 billion since moving into Truist Park in 2017. So this explains the large number of teams looking to get new ballpark or renovate existing ones. The Oakland A's will likely be moving into a new ballpark in Las Vegas in 2028. The Tampa Bay Rays, Chicago White Sox, Kansas City Royals, they're all seeking public funding for new ballpark for their current cities. And the Orioles are getting $400 million of state funding for improvements to Camden Yard. Helping to alleviate the big financial spread among teams, the top five are worth an average of $5.1 billion versus $1.2 billion for the bottom five. Well, that's a record revenue sharing in 2023. The 13 richest teams, including the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Red Sox, the Yankees, they gave $500 million combined to the 14 poorest teams, including the Tampa Bay Rays, Royals, Pirates, and the Orioles, surprisingly. More money. Not all of the value in Major League Baseball teams can be explained by the P&L statement. Take, for example, Major League Baseball Advanced Media. Here's a new acronym for you, MLBAM. And they house the league online ticketing and MLB TV, sports betting, and consumer product. Each team received $37 million from MLBAM last year. In addition, each team owns an equal share of it, worth about $49 million. Then there's the Baseball Endowment, or BELP, as it is commonly known. Yeah, right. That carries a value of about $1.1 billion, or each team about $35 million. Now, both MLBAM and BELP are considered small, but growing components in a team's values by sports banking. Now, I've got a list here of various RSN deals, and the variation on it is all over the place. Take for instance the Angels RSN deal with Diamond Sports Group is about $125 million a year, and once again that's a local deal. The Athletics, well, their projected deal is $70 million a year, and that's not much, right? The Braves are around $100 million. The Brewers, they're only about $33 million. So if you visit my YouTube channel, you'll see a little bit of a graphical movie of all these stats and stuff like that. I'm not going to go through each one, but it's interesting to see the list that I have of teams and how much they make on RSN, which is local TV. Now, what about the national TV contract? There's been talk of a national TV contract instituted by MLB. The more I look into this, it sounds typical of today's society and the what's in it for me approach. How is the revenue distributed or split equally? Well, let's just say the New York Yankees received an estimated $143 million in rights fees in 2022, and 2023 was about the same. But I'm going to guess it was more in 2023. Now, that's much greater than a team like the Colorado Rockies, which received $57 million in that same year, according to Forbes. Now, this debate on sharing revenue is pushed as small market versus large market, but really, it's bullshit. The New York Yankees, as I stated earlier, are worth $7.1 billion. The Colorado Rockies are worth $1.47 billion. So, if I bought the Yankees, there's a reason they cost 5 times more than the Rockies. They generate more sales. If Major League Baseball wants me to share my profits with the Rockies ownership, well, the Rockies ownership should have bought the friggin' Yankees. That's my profit. So a national TV contract would have to make it worthwhile for teams that own their own RSNs. But something must be done because RSNs are going to vanish. Or at least the dollars going to teams now will drastically change in coming contracts. This is guaranteed money used for player contracts, and it's going to hit home to the players. Possible reduced long-term contracts in the future because of reduced profits. Why is no one talking about this? Could this be the reason why free agents wait forever to sign? Because they don't know about the contract and what they're getting? Well, I think we wrapped up everything with that, but there's one more thing I'd like to talk about. The All-Star Game is returning to Atlanta. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game will return to Atlanta in 2025. Now that's 4 years after losing the game in part due to a restrictive voting law. The commissioner was asked, well, what changed? Given that the same Georgia law remains in place, and Manfred said, it's a personal evolution. Then added, one of the things we've learned over time is that the more we stay out of political issues, the better off we are. People like their sports separate from their politics. We've got a fan base that's all over the political spectrum, and the safest thing for us to do is focus on baseball. That sounds like he's trying to say, I made a shit decision based on impulse and poor decision making, and I regret mixing sports and politics. That's the apology I would accept. Well, seems like that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our 6th episode of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Join us weekly. New episodes released Friday for about a 20-minute broadcast. Thank you once again for listening. Tell your friends about us. And we look forward to next week's special edition episode of the All-Star Game and first half results.
Awesome!
And we'll do some predictions for the final season and everything. So, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.